Here we go again. No corny intro today. You're not here for fun, you're here because you have to be, and the clock is ticking, so let's get to work. Pop out these two AFCs so you can remove the duct and access the battery. Disconnect the negative and set it aside safely. Get a 14mm socket and place it on the auto tensioner like so. Push! Then slip the belt off the alternator pulley and release. You can rent these serpentine belt tools for free from the usual scumbags, or a shallow 14mm socket on a long socket wrench or a long box wrench works well too. Here's the rub. The alternator is going to come out through here, but the coolant reservoir and power steering reservoir are in the way. First, unclip the power steering fluid reservoir from the bracket. Then remove the bracket itself. We need every inch. Two 10mm bolts. Next, we got to pull off this hose. You can use vice grips to crimp it off, but just wrap some tape around the jaws so the teeth don't chew up the hose. These cheap little clamps from Harbor Freight are the business, and they won't damage the hose. I'm compensating for something with my suspiciously long needle nose pliers. Slide off that pinch clamp. Prepare for some dribbles. Now wrestle it out. Probably going to drip some more here. And pull it out of the way. Tech tip, get a bungee to hold this out of the way, unless you got a friend to hold it for you. I don't have any friends.
Yes, you do.
Next to the coolant reservoir, remove this AFC. And down below, you'll see it's held in by the same style bracket as the power steering reservoir. Pop it out. If you follow the line coming from the reservoir, you'll see that it clips in here. Pop that out. Go downstream and pop out the next clip too, just to help you get this reservoir further out of the way. This AC hose is going to be in our way, but it's just one 10mm away from freedom. And that'll give you just enough play to squeeze the coolant reservoir underneath, and you have enough line to sit this way out of the way. The lower coolant reservoir bracket also comes out.
So much extra space in the car to do activities.
Remove this 10mm bolt holding the loom onto the alternator. This is totally that same bolt and not a replacement, I swear. There's only two electrical connectors, the first being this main battery cable. To make it easier, we'll pop off the engine cover. Mouse poops. Peel this boot back to reveal the majesty, a 12mm nut. Peel this boot back to find the second connector. It's a squeezy type. Squeezy, squeezy, squeezy. Now to actually extract the alternator. There's a 14mm down here and a 12mm right here. This steel bracket is going to need to be transferred to the new alternator anyway, and it's going to make removal a bitch. So let's get it out now. It's a 6mm socket cap screw. I'm not going to tell you this part's easy, but you can see why we removed as much as we did. It still doesn't technically fit. Fortunately, that hard line to the compressor has just enough flex. Make sure you bought the right alternator. Compare the mounting points and the electrical connectors. You're going to have to get this nut off to connect the battery cable, so you might as well do it now on the bench. Here's a gotcha step. See that pressed in bushing? We need to press that out a bit. You can try channel locks or something, but this is the best way. You need a 2-inch bolt, a shallow 19mm or 3/4 inch socket, and a matching nut. If you use an M8 by 1.25 bolt, you can reuse your battery cable nut. Slip the socket around the bushing and thread the nut on the end. As you hold the bolt on one end and tighten the nut, you'll safely press the bushing out enough to let the new alternator slip right in. Otherwise, it won't fit without a hammer and a lot of cursing. See how the bushing is sticking out more now? Line up the holes for the 14mm bolt. With the bushing pressed out, this will drop right in. Start the 14mm bolt, but don't tighten it yet. Reinstall the steel bracket like so, and start the 6mm socket cap bolt. Again, don't tighten it. Then start the 12mm that holds the bracket to the engine. Now tighten all three. Reconnect the battery cable to the alternator. The new nut is 13mm for some reason. Plug in the blue squeezy. Reinstall the 10mm that you totally didn't lose earlier onto the loom retainer. Push back on the tensioner and slip the belt over the new alternator. Your belt may have slipped off the other pulleys while you were working. I know, because mine did. So here's a belt diagram, just in case. Reinstall the lower retaining bracket for the coolant reservoir. Slip it back under the AC line, like so. And clip it back in. Reinstall the upper AFC. And don't forget to pop that hard line back into those two clips you disconnected earlier. Now for the power steering reservoir bracket. Two 10mm, in case you forgot. Release your power steering reservoir from its bungee cord prison and return it to its happy home. Pop the hose back on and snap it back in. Wrestle that AC line back in. Put this stupid thing back. Reconnect this so you stay grounded to the ground or whatever. Slip the duct back in. Down to one warning light. And there you have it. Thanks for watching.